5 things a wise man should never do in public. There are 5 things a wise man should never do in public, not because he's afraid, but because he understands the weight of his silence and the danger of wasting it. 1. Never display his emotions like a spectacle. A wise man feels deeply, but he does not bleed in the streets. He does not beg for sympathy, nor does he use the world as his therapist, because he knows what is sacred should be guarded, and pain, when publicly displayed, often becomes entertainment for the unworthy. As Epictetus warned, keep your philosophy to yourself until it has hardened you like iron. That applies to pain too. We do not parade our wounds like trophies. We stitch them in silence and let the healing forge our spirit into steel. We live in an age where emotional chaos is currency, but the wise man sees the trap. He knows that dignity isn't found in disclosure, it's found in discipline. Let them scream, let them rant. We observe, we endure, we master. 2. Never argue to prove a point. The wise do not speak to be right, they speak to be precise. In public, arguments are rarely about truth. They're about dominance, pride, and ego. But a wise man doesn't kneel to ego. He listens, he smiles, he walks away. Why? Because he doesn't need to win. He needs only to remain untouched. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never a need to turn things upside down." We don't argue for approval. We don't explain our soul to those who are deaf to it. The deeper our thoughts, the quieter we become. The wise man knows energy is precious and wisdom is silent, not because it has nothing to say, but because it knows when saying it would cost too much. We don't wear masks in public, but we do wear armor. We guard our hearts, we guard our minds, we guard our presence. Because in a world that bleeds noise and confusion, the man who carries himself with control walks like a shadow of something dangerous, something ancient, something untouchable. 3. Never seek validation through boasting. A wise man never stands in public and lists his achievements. He does not speak of what he owns, who he knows, or what he's endured. Because he knows, the more a man boasts, the less he truly has. Seneca once warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Boasting is not confidence. It is insecurity in disguise. It's a loud plea for approval. And approval is a hunger no Stoic feeds. We don't speak of our greatness. We become it. We let our presence, our discipline, our restraint say everything. So while others are busy performing their worth to the crowd, we walk in silence, with the quiet certainty that true worth needs no applause. 4. Never lose control of your emotions in public. A wise man does not explode. He does not argue in the street, nor raise his voice to prove a point, because he understands, the moment you lose control, you lose respect. Epictetus taught, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master." Think about that. Every time someone provokes you and you react with rage, you hand them the leash to your mind. We don't lash out. We don't retaliate. We observe. We endure. We transcend. To be calm when disrespected, to be silent when insulted, that is not weakness. That is power, sharpened by philosophy and forged in the fire of discipline. We train for this, not to be cold, but to be unbreakable, because the man who controls his emotions controls the room. 5. Never complain about life in public. A wise man knows the world does not owe him comfort, fairness, or sympathy, so he refuses to advertise his pain for pity. Seneca warned, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." When we complain, we multiply our suffering. And worse, we diminish our dignity. Because in Stoic thought, true strength lies in bearing pain silently, enduring hardship with poise, and rising again and again without begging the world to notice. We are not victims, we are craftsmen of our character, and every trial is just another tool in our hands. So we stay quiet. We carry the burden with grace, because we are not here to be understood. We are here to become unshakable. If this message resonated with you, subscribe the Stoic Verse for more Stoic wisdom.